Hi, it's Craig from Paragliding Map here. I just wanted to show you the latest version of the Android app. So let's get started. In case you don't know, Paragliding Map is a website which shows paragliders where it's flyable. It's got all of the sites around the world, over 13,000 of them, and it mixes up current weather conditions with known paragliding sites to automatically calculate where it's going to be flyable. And this is the Android version of the website. It has exactly the same data coming from the web services on the website, and it presents it in a native format for an Android device so that it runs really fast. So what are the changes in this new version? Well, first of all, you'll notice that we've got terrain view. Unfortunately, I couldn't offer that in the previous version because Google didn't support terrain view, but now with Android Maps version 2, they do support it, so I can offer it. So fantastic. So you might notice as well that there are some new marker types on the map. If we go and have a look at the layers that you can select, now you've got flyable sites and non-flyable sites, just as you've always had in the past, but you've also got webcams and thermals down the bottom there. So another thing that you might notice that you can do is with these toggles you can turn layers on and off as you like, and if you want to see them then you can turn them on, and if you don't want to see them then you can turn them off. For example, I don't like seeing the sites with the insufficient info, so I generally turn those off. And even sometimes I even turn off the webcams because those can get in the way sometimes. I'll show you what I mean later. So we can go back to the map here, and if we click on a thermal, it says, there's 38% probability here within 250 meters of getting something on a thermic day, and the lift starts at 2,816 meters. And that seems pretty high, but this is in the mountains already, so it's not that far off the ground. So the other new thing is these webcams here. So a lot of the time we've got webcams or automatically linked up to the sites, but not always. It's an automatic process, so we err on the side of caution, and if it's too far away then we don't link the webcam automatically. But what you can do now is you can have a look on the map and you can have a look. Some of these webcams are actually pretty good. They're not very close to a site, but the site's up there somewhere, so you can see the clouds and it's still a pretty good webcam. So now you can see those on the map as well. So those are all over the place, especially in the Alps. You can see a lot of really interesting sites. So here's Grindelwald, and you can see a view of the Wetterhorn there. So I mean, these are good webcams. So if we have a look around, you can see that this is one of my favorite spots, Lauterbrunnen. You can see there's a whole bunch of sites. So in here, you can see if we load up the Mürren launch, you can see that the webcams are automatically hooked up, but you can see around here, those are the ones that are automatically hooked up. But if you zoom out a bit, you can see a lot more webcams in this area. There's a lot more to have a look at if you want to check out the weather conditions or whatever. There's some more around Interlaken as well. It just allows you to have a much better look. So what are some of the other new features? Well, it's been completely rewritten, and it's supposed to look like Google Maps so that you know how to use it already. So let me just go to one of my favorite sites around me. So let's load that up. It's not flyable at the moment, unfortunately. So Merkur Nordost. So the first thing you see is it peeps up there from the bottom, just like Google Maps. You can see that the wind conditions that are acceptable for this site is north through east, and the current wind is coming from the south, which is probably why it's not flyable. So you can just touch it or you can slide it to open up the full details, and you can see that it gives you the reason why it's not flyable, like it always has, and it gives you some information. One thing you might notice is the wind speed is not in kilometers per hour and miles per hour and knots, etc., because now there's a preference up here, which the Americans are going to really like, and maybe the English as well, So you can set this and you can say, oh, I want the altitude in feet. And in New Zealand, where I'm from, we use kilometers and kilometers per hour and degrees Celsius and everything, but we use feet for altitude. So it's really good to be able to use feet for altitude and kilometers for the rest. So it's kind of a mix there. So I didn't just say imperial or metric. You can choose for each measurement that you want to change. So yeah, of course we have the flyability here, as we always do, and the View on Windfinder button works now. Unfortunately, I'm not on the right account at the moment, so I can't click on that. So let's see what happens. Just once. There we go. Might tell me that I haven't bought it. Okay. Well, this is the free version of Windfinder. So I've obviously uninstalled the Pro version, but if you have the Pro version installed, it will use that as well. But this is a test user that I'm using at the moment on my device, and I bought the Windfinder app on the other account, so that's why I can't see it at the moment. So it's using the free version. And if you don't have either of them installed, of course it uses the Windfinder website, which is not as nice, but it still works. So the next thing, of course, is webcams. The webcams are all there as usual. You can click on them to go to the well, if they exist. You can click on them to go to the original website, so you can go and see more information about it, etc. So just click back to go there. So you can go and see more webcams sometimes in the area, or you can just go and see the club where it's from. Often it's clubs that offer the webcams anyway, so it's good to be able to go there. But the other thing is, of course, the details. You might notice there are a lot more details now than there have been in the past. I can tell you that there are going to be more details coming in the future. You don't need to necessarily update the app to get new details, because the details are all coming from this web service. So in the last couple of years, you might have noticed that a lot of the details have been started to be filled in, etc. And the reason for that, of course, is because I'm merging the sites from multiple sources, in this case from Paragliding Earth and from the DHV. And Paragliding Earth is a public database for paragliding sites, and the DHV is the official club for Germany. So they kindly both share their sites with me, but so do the FFVL, so that's the French club, and Flyland, which is the Swiss club. So I import all of those, and then I merge all of the sites so that there's no duplicates. If you have a look on the map, you know there's only 2 sites here, but even though it's getting it from multiple sources, it's automatically merged. So if you want to, you can go and click on these links to go and open it up on the original website, so that you can go and see the original data source. Sometimes there's a little bit more information in there than they send me in the XML feed. I'm trying to get them to send me all of it, but sometimes they don't. And as I said before, there's a club for this website, so now one of the new features is, if there is a club for the website, for the site, then you can go to their website and it will show you all the contact details, etc. for that club. So that's really useful if you're going to a new place, because you need to know who to contact to get a ride to the top, or to know what the rules are, etc. So it's always good to meet the local pilots. One of the other features you might have seen is add to favorites. You can add a site to your favorites, and it becomes available in this list here. So you can just click back on it whenever you like. So if I want to go back to Mercor Vest, which is the other site on the left here, then I can do that. It's really useful to have your favorite sites in a list so that you can access them later. What else have we got? We've got search as usual, but it's using the new search interface. So if we search for Interlaken, for example, which I've already searched for in the past, then it will return some search results. And here, in addition to showing you whether each site is flyable or not flyable with the icons here, and it also returns landings, which it didn't in the past, and it also tells you with this icon here which wind directions each site accepts and where the wind's currently coming from. So for example, Scheiniger Platte, this one here, you can see that it takes a northwest or a west, and the wind is currently coming from the west. So if we click on that, then it should show that it's flyable, and of course it is. Now it tells you why it's flyable, yeah, all the usual stuff. So another cool thing is, if you do a search and you think, okay, I'd actually like to refine that search, there's now an advanced search here. So if we click on that, now it already knows we've been searching for Interlaken, so it pre-populated that, but maybe I want to have a look around Interlaken for all of the sites that accept north or northeast, and I'm only interested in launches. I don't care about landings, and I'm on a paraglider, so I want to make sure that it supports paragliding. And you know what? I want to go thermaling, so let's try thermaling. So we'll click go on that, and there's only one. So you see you can really refine your search down. And another cool thing that you can do with this is you can also tell it to search around you. So if you're in a new place, you can say, hey, search within 75 k's of my location, and it means that you can get all of the flyable sites around you. If you know where the wind's coming from, you can just do a search for those sites. So what else have we got? Yes, that's pretty cool. If we go and have a look here, you can actually view it in 3D now on Google Earth, and you can see the shape of the mountain and how everything is working in that location. You can zoom in. Let's go into Lauterbrunnen here, and when I do this, you'll see why it's one of my favorite places to fly, because it's beautiful. This glacial valley here, this wall here is 700 meters high just to start with, and you can take off from Mürren and then fly out over the valley, and there's a gondola up so you don't have to walk, so it's good for lazy people. And seeing it in 3D is really a lot different to just seeing it on a terrain map, because you can really get an impression that from this launch here, you can probably make it to this landing, but you have to sort of fly around a bit, and you can't see it from the top, for example, and that's important information too. So these are the things that you can see with 3D, which I find quite useful. The other things that you can do is navigate to the site with Google Maps, as you could always do. You can edit now. It opens on the website though. I haven't built that into the app, but a lot of the time people want to make changes to sites, and you can just go to the website directly, or you can do it from in the app. It's easier, of course, on your computer, but you can do it from on the app as well. And if there's any information that's incorrect, you can correct it, and then it will be available to everybody through the apps and through the website. Okay, so there are a few extra little things, like gust strength is now displayed in the current information if it's available. So it is here. We've got wind speed of 3 k's, but the gust is 9. So that's useful information sometimes when we want to make sure that it's not too turbulent, because gusts, of course, mean turbulence, and if it's too gusty, then it's too dangerous often. What else have we got? The hyperlinks and the descriptions are now clickable. So we do have one here. So if you click on that, it will go to the Delta Club Interlaken. So that's the site contact listed for this one. So that's something people have been asking for a while. Another thing is that all of the details can now be selected and copied. So if you want to copy paste it and just get a quick translation of something, because a lot of the sites in France are in French, a lot of the sites in Germany are in German, etc. So if you speak English, then it's often good to just get a quick heads up about what that means in English. There will be automatic translation features coming in a future version, but unfortunately I didn't have time to put it in this one, but it will be coming. So you can also navigate to landings as well as launches with this navigate to site feature, which is pretty useful if you're going to be parking your car there. Often I found myself wanting that feature because I obviously would be parking my car at the landing and then walking up to the top. So what else have we got here? One of the cool features is that you can share the image now. So anything that you can see on the screen, you can share. You can share it with Facebook, you can send it in an email, you can share it with Beam or whatever. It all just works there. So if you've got details and you want to show your friends on the website that it's flyable or whatever, you can share that as well, and it will work. So that's pretty convenient. Don't need to say too much if it says it's going to be flyable. Now, the send my location feature is something which is really good. If you do a cross country and you need to be picked up, it's often a mission to tell the driver where you are and where to pick you up. So you can say, I need a ride, and it will send an email to the driver and it will say, hi, I've landed and I need a ride. Here are my coordinates. And then you can click to show that on a map. And of course, if they're using an Android device or an iOS device, then it will load that in Maps and they can use their phone to navigate to you. It's pretty easy. And if they've got a GPS in their car, they can just type in the coordinates. So that really helps people to get your location. I remember landing in a goat paddock once, and my wife had it took her about an hour to find me. So having the GPS coordinates is really useful. So I think that's pretty much it. Those are the new features that are in version 7. All of the features that were in the previous versions have been implemented in the new version, and in addition, there is no pro version anymore. There's only a free version, and the features are unlocked by making in-app purchases. So if you bought the pro version, your purchase has been transferred to the free version, so all of the stuff that you bought will be unlocked, and you can still continue to use it for free because you already paid for it, so that's only fair, and you can continue to use it as normal. So you can use not only the features that you paid for, but you can use the new version of the features you paid for free, just as you would expect. So that's the new version of Paragliding Map. I hope you like it. If you've got feedback, then you can always contact the developer, and I do read those emails, and I do try to get back to people pretty quickly, especially if it's for support. So yeah, feel free to contact me, and I hope you enjoy it.